Did you know that 85% of people believe they aren't creative? Yet, creativity isn't a rare gift, it's a skill anyone can develop. In fact, studies show that 90% of our creative potential remains untapped. It's not about waiting for inspiration, it's about knowing how to unlock your mind's full potential. In this video, we're going to explore powerful ways to unleash the creativity inside you. We'll talk about surprising strategies like using structure to fuel creativity, embracing chaos, and even stepping outside your daily routine to spark fresh ideas. Are you ready to break through the limits you've set on yourself? Stay tuned, because you're about to discover that the creative genius inside you is just waiting to be unleashed. Chapter 1. The Creativity Code. Why structure fuels genius. When it comes to creativity, we often think of it as something spontaneous, unplanned, or chaotic. But what if the real secret to unlocking your creativity lies in having a solid structure? Tim Harford's research suggests that creativity thrives in environments that are deliberately designed to foster it. According to him, having routines and constraints can lead to more breakthrough ideas than being entirely free. The truth is, many of the world's most creative individuals had structured habits. Take the example of writer Franz Kafka, who kept a strict routine of writing every morning before work. This consistency allowed him to produce remarkable pieces despite having a busy life. Even in science, great discoveries like the theory of relativity came from an orderly mind and a dedicated process. Harford's theory goes against the common belief that creativity only comes when you're feeling inspired. He points out that people like Steve Jobs and even Mozart built their creative empires through structured, deliberate work. This is why having daily rituals can help you unlock creativity even on your less inspired days. When you make creativity a habit, your brain gets trained to recognize patterns, making it easier to come up with new ideas. In fact, researchers found that working on creative tasks regularly, regardless of whether you feel inspired, leads to higher creativity in the long run. A study by psychologist Teresa Amabile showed that consistent effort, even when motivation dips, directly improves creativity. The more you practice, the easier it gets to generate original ideas, just like any other skill. The key takeaway here is simple: don't wait for inspiration. Set aside time each day for creative work, even if it's just 20 minutes. If you build a creative routine, inspiration will follow. Remember, structure doesn't kill creativity, it nurtures it. So, the next time you sit down to create, make it part of your daily plan, and watch your creative muscle grow stronger. Chapter 2. The Chaos Catalyst. Embrace messy ideas. What happens when your ideas don't fit neatly into a box? Embrace the mess. While many of us try to avoid chaos, some of the greatest ideas came from disorder. In fact, chaos can act as a powerful catalyst for creativity, forcing you to think outside the lines and connect unrelated dots. This approach is all about accepting imperfection and allowing room for mistakes. In his book Messy, Tim Harford explains how randomness and unpredictability can lead to creativity. One famous example is the invention of penicillin. Alexander Fleming discovered it by accident when a petri dish of bacteria became contaminated. Had he been too focused on keeping his lab neat, he might have missed this groundbreaking moment. Harford argues that creativity often emerges from unexpected sources, especially when we let go of rigid structures. Sometimes, stepping away from the perfect path leads to more innovative and groundbreaking results. Many artists, like Pablo Picasso, were able to produce such revolutionary work precisely because they broke the rules. They didn't follow a neat, planned route. Instead, they embraced the unpredictability of their craft. The chaos principle also applies to businesses. A study by researchers at the University of California found that companies with a more chaotic or flexible work environment tend to produce more innovative products. When employees are encouraged to step out of their comfort zones and experiment, they're more likely to generate creative solutions. So, don't be afraid to let things get a little messy in your creative process. Being comfortable with disorder allows you to find new ways to solve problems. Instead of thinking you need everything to be perfect before starting, jump into the mess and see where it leads. You may find that the best ideas come from embracing the chaos. Chapter 3. Out of the box, into the world. How to seek the unseen to unlock your creativity. You must first expand your worldview. One of the most effective ways to do this is by stepping outside of your regular routine and exploring the world around you. Tim Harford encourages us to seek the unseen by looking for inspiration in unexpected places. Travel, new experiences, and a willingness to break from your normal surroundings can help you see things in a new light. Research shows that exposure to different cultures and environments can enhance creativity. A study by psychologist Richard Florida showed that people who live in diverse cities are often more creative because they are exposed to a variety of ideas and ways of thinking. By stepping outside of your comfort zone, you expose yourself to fresh perspectives that can help spark new ideas. One practical way to do this is by actively seeking out new experiences. If you're used to reading novels, try listening to podcasts. If you're always working in a quiet room, try taking your work outside. Even a quick trip to a new coffee shop can stimulate new thinking. You don't have to go on a world tour to expand your mind, simply change your environment. Harford also highlights the importance of learning from other fields. Many of the greatest breakthroughs in science, art, and technology came from cross-disciplinary inspiration. For example, Steve Jobs famously combined his knowledge of technology and design to create Apple products that revolutionized the tech world. So, if you're an engineer, try taking a painting class. If you're a writer, learn a bit about coding. The key is to expose yourself to new ways of thinking. Creativity isn't just about thinking differently, it's about seeing the same things in new ways. By seeking the unseen, whether through travel, new experiences, or learning from other disciplines, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. And remember, creativity often comes from the unexpected, so the more you explore, the more likely you are to stumble upon something amazing. Don't forget to subscribe for more creative strategies and tips. Let's keep growing together. Chapter 4. The Power of Play. How fun fuels genius. Creativity isn't all about hard work and serious thinking. Sometimes, the best ideas come when we let ourselves have fun. Play, according to Tim Harford, is one of the most powerful tools to spark creativity. It's through play that our brains are free to make connections and experiment without the pressure of perfection. Studies have shown that people who engage in playful activities often solve problems more effectively. This is because play allows the brain to relax and open up to new possibilities. Whether you're playing a game, doodling, or just daydreaming, play reduces stress and helps you think more freely. Harford also points out that many famous creatives embraced play as part of their process. Albert Einstein, for example, often used thought experiments, imagining impossible scenarios to spark new ideas. These playful exercises helped him develop the theory of relativity. Similarly, Google encourages its employees to spend 20% of their time on creative projects unrelated to their main work, leading to some of their most innovative products. So, how can you add more play into your life? It doesn't have to be anything complicated. Try activities that let your mind wander, like playing a game, doing puzzles, or engaging in a hobby you enjoy. The key is to allow yourself to relax and let your brain make connections without trying to force a solution. Remember, play isn't a waste of time. It's a proven way to boost your creativity and problem-solving skills. Next time you're stuck on an idea, take a break and play. Your brain will thank you for it. Chapter 5. The Silent Rebellion. Turning off to tune in today's fast-paced world, we are constantly distracted by notifications, emails, and social media. But what if the key to unlocking creativity is simply turning everything off? Tim Harford emphasizes that silence and solitude are essential for tuning into our creative selves. Studies show that downtime, when we're not overloaded with information, is crucial for creative thinking. A study by neuroscientists found that our brains are actually most active when we're doing nothing. This resting state allows our minds to make new connections and process information in novel ways. When we constantly surround ourselves with noise, our brains don't have the chance to rest and regenerate. That's why taking breaks from screens and spending time alone can help you think more clearly. So, whether it's taking a walk in nature or just sitting in silence for a few minutes, make space for quiet time in your routine. By embracing silence, You allow your brain to work in the background and come up with creative ideas that might otherwise be drowned out. Creativity doesn't always require constant stimulation. Sometimes, the best ideas emerge when we step back and listen to our own thoughts. Chapter 6. The Unexpected Muse. How failure becomes your best friend. Failure is often seen as the enemy of creativity, but in reality, it's one of the best ways to spark new ideas. Tim Harford encourages us to embrace failure, not fear it. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, experiment, and grow, making it an essential part of the creative process. Take the story of Thomas Edison, who famously failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. He didn't see these failures as setbacks, he saw them as experiments that helped him move closer to success. The same goes for creative professionals today. Failure is often a stepping stone to innovation. Embracing failure allows you to take more risks, which can lead to groundbreaking ideas. In fact, research shows that people who fail more often tend to be more creative. They are less afraid of taking chances and more willing to explore unconventional solutions. So, the next time you fail, don't see it as a roadblock. Instead, view it as a learning opportunity that brings you closer to your creative goals. Failure isn't the end, it's just another part of the journey. If you found these strategies helpful, be sure to subscribe for more creative insights and tips. Let's keep exploring together.